Hey guys, Dylan at goldpaydirtreviews.com. Usually I'm really excited to do a Paydirt review, but today I'm not. I'm actually going to be reviewing Minor Mike's Paydirt, and his website's mikesgoldpaydirt.com. Now, I purchased this in November. I believe it was Black Friday. I think I ordered it. I was doing a lot of searching, seeing who had Black Friday sales and stuff like that, and decided to give him a gamble. I've heard a lot of great stuff on the forums about him. I mean, you know, I've never heard anything bad about him, and I ordered it, and I just haven't gotten around to doing a review on it because I've been backlogged so much. But unfortunately, since December, I've gotten about a dozen emails from a dozen different customers of his, all complaining that they weren't getting their Paydirt. And I emailed them 3 times, and I didn't get a single reply. None of the people that emailed me said they got any replies. They all filed PayPal disputes and got their money back. And I recently went to his website, and I noticed he removed PayPal off of his site, which kind of makes me worried because PayPal is really easy to get your money back if you complain. So, you know, it makes you kind of worried that, you know. And I also noticed that he's been updating his website. You know, he added a 2017 sale. He put a video up here on YouTube about a month ago. So, you know, I don't know. You know, I'm hoping the Paydirt's good because I always want to get good Paydirt. But I'm also, you know, I'd be worried about sending any customers his way from all the bad stuff I've heard about him. I mean, I'm actually getting some really nasty comments about him on my other reviews. I haven't approved any of them because I don't want to take away from anyone else's review with somebody else's Paydirt, really. Especially something a negative review. So, a negative comment. I'm going to do this review, but I would highly suggest if you want to buy some Paydirt from Minor Mike, you go and you probably email him first. And if you don't get a reply, that should tell you something right there. You know, maybe if he replies, you take that gamble. It's up to you. I know someone recently told me they tried to order some of his Paydirt. They didn't know about any of this stuff I just told you about. And they said they were getting an error when they tried to process their credit card because he no longer takes PayPal, and they were getting an error. So I don't know if that's still going on or not. But I'm just going to say, personally, I would not buy anything from him until I contacted him first. So I'm going to get to this. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm going to screen one out and then see how that is. I might just do them all together and divide it in half and say that's, you know, my average is. So, but I like the bag. It's a good bag. I know he says on his website it's tamper-proof. I don't know who would tamper with it, but, you know, I do like these, the bags that you can see through, so you can see like this, where you got a lot of dirt that's stuck in there. I mean, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a lot of Paydirt still stuck in there, I guess, from when it was wet before it dried. So, you know, a lot more chunky than I thought it would be for being, this is a half-pound bag. I paid $12.95 for it. So it was $25.90, I believe. I think that's what it is, multiplied by 2. I paid $25.90 for these, plus I paid $3.90 shipping. You know, if you were to buy from him, which right now I can't really suggest to, but if you did email him and he replied and he said something happened, whatnot, and you decided to buy from him, I think the larger size bags would be a better deal because there's no shipping. So for a 1-pound bag, it's $19.95. So I don't know the math on that. $25.90 plus $3.90. Maybe, you know, you have to look. He's got all kinds of sales. Actually, this one right now, the half-pound, it's buy 2 get 1 free. So even with the shipping, you're going to get a pound and a half for 26 and 4, $30 bucks. Yeah. So I don't know. Do the math. Check it all out. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go pan all these out, screen all these out, and see what happens. And be right back. All right. So finished classifying everything out, and as you can see, I did divide them up by the bags, and they weren't very consistent with, which is pretty surprising. But they both seem to be, I guess, about the same. This one had a lot more of the over 30, under 20, and a lot less, it looks like, of the under 30. Maybe it's about the same, but, you know, a lot more over 10 than I expected out of such a half-pound bag. But, you know, I'll pan this out and You know, it'll be unfortunate if there's no pickers, because that's probably a good third of the bag. But I'm going to knock out the over 10 and the under 10 over 20 and see what I get. And hopefully I'll find some gold. You know, it'll be unfortunate because, you know, I'd like to send Mike some business, but if he's not replying or sending Paydirt out, there's no purpose in it. So, again, I'm going to go knock this out real quick, and then I'll come right back and show you what I got, and hopefully there's gold. Alright, back, screened out the over 10. And as you can see, from the bag on the left, I got one picker. Weighed it out, it was 0.15 grams. The right side bag had nothing. But when I got to the under 10 over 20, it was a vastly different story. The bag on the left, I got, I believe, 7 little bitty pieces. And on the bag on the right, I ended up with about 24, 25 pieces. So far the bags haven't been consistent really too much at all. We'll find out at the end how much the gold weighs to find out exactly how consistent they are. But as to gold quality, gold quantity, so far they're pretty different. Now normally I would pan out the over 30 for a separate video or a part, but there's really not that much. So I'm going to actually combine the next part and do this. But let me show y'all if it's magnetized. Doesn't seem to be. So, I mean, there's a little bit, but not very much. So it's going to be a real challenge if there's not much magnetized black sand, if that's what you like to do. All right, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go pan these out and show you the results from those. All right, so before I get to this part where I show you my results for my over 30 and my under 30, I'm going to show you just how dirty this stuff is. This stuff is really, really dirty. This is from my pour-off pan. As you can see, this is the mud that I got from. I mean, this stuff is like chocolate syrup. So it makes it for some really difficult. I mean, it will dirty up your pan unless you, like I do, I pour off all my stuff when I'm rinsing in my dirt, just because of that. So I'm going to show you some before and after pictures in a second, and you can see just how the rocks, this was from the over 10 on the difference from when I ran it through water and before and after. So I'm going to get to that. And then after that, after the pictures, then we'll get to my usual part 4, where I show you the over 30 and the under 30 cleanouts. Alright, back, finished panning it all out, and we'll go through it again. For the over 10, we'll call it the left bag. It had one nugget. The right bag didn't have anything. But when it came to the under 10 over 20, the left bag only had 7 little flakes, while the right hand bag had 25, I believe it was. Maybe it was 24. Now both bags were pretty consistent in the fact that the under 20 over 30 had nothing. But when it came to the under 30, they both did have gold. And I'll say there's probably a little bit more in the left bag than the right bag. Not by much, but there is. So, you know, kind of what you would want if you bought 2 separate bags of Paydirt is to have 2 different results. We'll have to find out if the roys are pretty similar, which is what you do want. You don't want to, you know, you'd hate to buy 2 bags of Paydirt and have one with a 90% roy and one with a 10% roy, because, you know, that kind of sucks. You want them to be consistent, but, you know, it's nice to have different size gold in each bag. The roys do seem to be pretty good. You know, I'll have to see. I mean, they're obviously going to be probably, you know, pretty good, but which is, you know, a bad thing considering that this seller seems to be not shipping anymore. So I'm going to put another final warning in there. I would definitely email this seller before purchasing any Paydirt from him. just to make sure he's still shipping. I mean, problems do happen, so maybe for a period he was having issues, and, you know, I got a lot of emails and a lot of complaints about him just at that time. You know, stuff happens. So, email, maybe he's got his gear and his stuff back together. So, but, you know, one of the things is I didn't want to do 2 reviews, since I normally, if I buy 2 bags of Paydirt, I'll do one, then a couple months later, or a month later, I'll do the other one just to compare the 2. But I didn't want to do 2 reviews for someone that might be scamming people. So I decided to do both of his reviews at once. On his website, I'll put up both bags, and we'll do an average and see what they all come up to. So I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully next bag of Paydirt I put up, which will probably be in a couple of days, and, you know, I'm not going to do this 1st and 15th deadlines anymore because I was never on time. So I'll just get to another bag. I do have some Paydirt lined up, so I don't know what bag I'll do next, but I do have some lined up. So you'll have to wait and see. But hopefully the next one is somebody that's selling Paydirt still, and not somebody that's gone and run off. So be right back. And you can go to my website. Actually, I'm not going to be right back. This is it. So you'll see me in a couple days. But go to my website, check out the Roys, find out what the final numbers are. Leave a comment if you have any good news or bad news about mine or Mike. All right, time to go.